Hey, what is up guys, it's that random guy 73 and welcome back to my channel. And I'm also saying welcome to myself because I have been gone for a very long time, so thank you all for sticking around all this time. Now, I have to apologize for not being here. I have had no inspiration to make videos recently, and I've seen no reason to because everyone else has made the videos I want to make. But I also want to apologize for this video because this video is completely unscripted, and I know I don't like doing that, but I found some amazing news which I feel you need to know. So let's get into the video. So as we all know, Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild are releasing next week Friday, a week from now when I'm filming, and they're releasing next week. Exciting times are upon us, everyone, and exciting rumors are around. But I think I've got some pure evidence to say the location and the timeline placement of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So let's get into it. As we know, that Nintendo has not confirmed the location of Breath of the Wild on the timeline, the official timeline. There are many speculations around and it's getting wild. But we also know that the Nintendo Switch has just been sent out to YouTubers and press, and along with that, Breath of the Wild. Now obviously there are boundaries they can't cross, things they can't do, and scenes they can't show in Breath of the Wild. But as of today, they showed their first gameplay footage, and I noticed something interesting. I was watching a video by Switch Force, a very great channel if you love Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch. I was watching his gameplay video and full game impression, and I noticed something. On screen he was showing gameplay from the Switch, which he had recorded. And in this he opened the map, and on the map there was the Lanayru province. Lanayru, I'm not too sure. But there was an area called the Lanayru, and I'm just going to call it the Lanayru province. Now, if you don't know what Lanayru or who Lanayru is the spirit of light that helps Link in his journey in Twilight Princess. And Lanayru is the thunder dragon who appears in Skyward Sword. But that's not that interesting. What's interesting is that in both Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, you have a Lanayru province. Yes. And that is just incredible because now we found out the Lanayru province is there. Now let's take a look at our timeline, our trusty timeline. We have Skyward Sword at the very beginning of the timeline. It starts the timeline. It's just under the era of the world's creation. So, not too amazing. I mean, the Lanayru province could be in any other game since it builds off Skyward Sword. But then we get to Twilight Princess. Now, Twilight Princess is under the hero successful timeline, and specifically the child era, where the sacred realm is protected. Now, Twilight Princess. Now, why would I think it's Twilight Princess? Well, as we know, the Lanayru province was in Twilight Princess. It's the only game that isn't in the is actually split in its own timeline that has the Lanayru province. But along with that, I don't know if you recall, but at the Game Awards or E3 a few years ago when they first showed footage and gameplay of Breath of the Wild when it didn't even have a name, it was just Zelda U, because we didn't even know there was an NX at the time, or a Switch as we call it now. We had some footage, the very first footage, and that footage showed Link running around in the Hyrule that we were showing. Now this may not be too exciting, but if you recall, we saw a bridge, and there was lots of speculation when that was released that this bridge was the Bridge of Elden, or Eldin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But if you recall, Bridge of Elden is only in Twilight Princess. But the interesting thing was the bridge apparently was untouched. It was in perfect condition, whereas in Twilight Princess, it's pretty beat up, you know, it's pretty battered down. So now here we've got Lanayru province and Bridge of Elden. Put them together, you have pretty solid evidence, but that doesn't say where it is. We know it's around the Twilight Princess, or we can speculate it's around the Twilight Princess era, the child era. But where would it be in that era? Now the thing is that in this era you have Majora's Mask. you have Twilight Princess, which is the Twilight era, and you have Four Swords and Hyrule Adventures. There are a lot of gaps in the Twilight Princess era, child era, where this could be, but I speculate it's either before Majora's Mask or in between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, since the Bridge of Eldin is untouched and in perfect condition, and the world hasn't gone into catastrophe yet. Now, of course, we don't know the story of Breath of the Wild yet, but this is what I think. This is the most likely from all the clues we've been getting, from all the pieces of gameplay we've been getting. This shows, this links to the actual map of Twilight Princess, the bridges in there, the layer provinces in there, and it's amazing, and I think that it is most likely going to be in the child era. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, guys, it's just a theory, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy your Breath of the Wild next week. Bye bye.